Hello, this is Eileen, the environmental educator, and in this video we're going to talk about a new breakthrough here in solar recycling, a method that recovers the silver that is in the solar panels. And that's a really good thing because it's made headlines recently because the silver that's in our solar panels, in our computers, in our electronics, in our phones, and now in our electric vehicles is making a huge demand in the silver inventory. And right now, there's actually a deficit to how much silver is mined a year in comparison to how much is used. Now, right here, this was a May 5th, 2023 article. The Silver Institute said the total supply in 2022 hit 1030.3 million ounces in 2022, while the demand surged to 1101.8 million ounces. So, yeah, the demand is outweighing the amount of silver that is being produced and deliverable. So it says right here, suggesting a key deficit. So, silver has been impacted in supply chain disruptions and the demand from the rise of emerging technologies. And silver has a massive range of applications in industry. As the most thermally conductive metal, silver has applications throughout electronic devices, printed circuit boards, and general components like switches. Its reactivity is utilized throughout chemical manufacturing, medical and dental, water purification, and catalytic applications. Silver is also a store of wealth in the form of bullion and jewelry due to its affordability. And so right here, it says that the Silver Institute estimates that 70 to 80 million ounces of silver will be needed annually through 2030 to meet solar growth. And it says that the automotive industry will require 90 million ounces by the year 2025, and both technologies may compound the supply squeeze. So silver is an in-demand product, and when it is in the electronics and phones and solar panels, it is used in such small quantities that until this new breakthrough, it could never be recovered. But now, engineers at University of New South Wales, also known as UNSW Sydney, patented a process, and the team found a new process which offers an effective separation of 99% of PC cell particles. And it says here that this new method comes as recycling solar panels has become more critical as the industry continues to grow. An estimated 8 million tons of photovoltaic waste will be produced by 2030 when solar panels come to the end of their life, while according to the International Renewable Energy Agency, by 2050, the figure will rise to 78 million tons. And recycling solar panels has, past tense, been a difficult feat, with many individual parts of the glass, silicon, metals, wiring, and plastic integrated together, complicating the process. That's complicating the process. And so in order for it to be recycled and reused, solar panel components need to be separated to avoid contamination with other materials, and manufacturers will only use materials of high purity. Without improved recycling methods, the majority of solar panels will end up in landfills at the end of their life cycle. But this Professor Yansung Shen at UNSW Sydney, they came up with a recycling program that, right here it says the recycles process recovers 99% of silver from the cells. And what they do is they use a sieving process. And the sieve process has not been peer reviewed in a scientific journal yet, as the first team wanted to patent the mechanism to hopefully commercialize the process in the future. But what they're doing is they have these right here, and you can see the different different sizes in the holes, I guess you say, of what can get sifted through. So, you start out at the top and you let the smaller stuff fall through and you just keep the big stuff on top. And then the deeper you go, the smaller the particles get. So you get the big stuff, then the less big stuff, until down at the bottom here, it's only the finest particles that go through the smallest of the filter screen, I guess you could call it. And so they say here that the first existing step to recycle PV panels involves the removal of large components such as the aluminum frame and glass sheets to just leave the solar cell. The next step is the crushing of the panel and separation of material inside the solar cell. And that is currently one of the key bottlenecks for the whole system. But they say the key to the new process is the addition of the sieving aids, which help to crush the solar cells into smaller particles, allowing better separation of all the components. That makes it much easier to recover important elements such as silver contained in the solar cells. The entire crushing and sieving process, which occurs inside a vibrating container, takes only around 5 to 15 minutes to effectively separate 99% of the PV materials. So they crush them up, they vibrate them in this contraption here, and then they all get filtered out through the screening. The whatever particles can fall through the density of the screen that's here. And then now you have components that can be reused that can be used for recycling of the silver components in silver, the silver components in these solar panels. And this is really very important because they say that I think people are just starting to realize how important it is that we recycle these PV cells in an environmentally friendly way. And it's very important just because of the amount of demand that is being put on silver supply and emerging technologies, adding to that demand. And the silver mining is not taking any more silver out of the earth. It's a big process to get silver out of the earth. And most silver mines, they don't go out and just mine silver. Silver is like a byproduct of the other minerals that are being mined out there. So, they may be going out and looking for gold and then they find silver. So of course they're going to take it and, make it so that they can bring that to market too. I mean, there are definitely some silver mines out there, but a lot of the silver mining is a byproduct of other mines and just in addition to, I guess, other mines. And, they'll take it. Though, they're in the business of bringing money out of the ground. So whatever metals they're going to bring up, they'll bring to market. But the advances in solar energy and electric vehicle technologies are spiking demand. And I mean, one way we could, of course, not have that demand for electric vehicles is, of course, if we would get into hemp, that's a whole another story. But right now, at least, this Professor Yansong, Yansong, Shen, Shen, it has come up with this new process here, which looks very promising. And, a lot of people in the electronics and solar panels and industries that use an abundance of silver, I'm sure, are contacting this person, and they're going to try to get this put into mass application. And I'm all for recovering materials that have already been mined out of the earth as opposed to just, throwing them away. I mean, I think they say there's this was a while ago and the price of silver's gone up a little bit, but 50, 75 cents worth of silver in your cell phone. So yeah, it's not enough to just get it out. But if you have a process like this where you can capture all of the materials that are used in the phone and the solar panels and, probably electric vehicles, then we can start recovering a lot more and putting them to use, because the silver demand right here, this was 2022, mine production was 822 million ounces, recycling was 180 million ounces, so there was 1.004.7 million ounces as opposed to the demand, which was 1.242.4 million ounces. So, that's a difference of 240,000 ounces, which is a lot of ounces that there's a gap, there's a deficit of. And that's right there, 2022 figures, according to the Silver Institute right here. So this is good news, and stay tuned, people.